Hey guys, and welcome back to another episode of Ball Talk. Today I'm going to be previewing the European Championship final tomorrow between Italy and England. In my opinion, these have been the two best teams of the tournament and they both deserve their places in the final. Before I get into the video, I just want to say thank you for the love and support on my channel as always. You guys are the best. If you're new to the channel, please subscribe. And whether you're new or you're not new, please like this video to support my channel. Alright, so I'm going to talk about how Italy can win the final, their tactics, key players and stuff like that, and then I'm going to do the same for England. So beginning with Italy. Italy's defense historically has always been great, and it's been no different in this tournament. Only conceded 3 goals throughout the whole tournament, and this comes from a team that works together defensively. Especially when they go ahead, they protected those leads with their lives. The semi-final, I was very surprised to see them go ahead and then be pegged back and taken all the way to penalties, because that does not normally happen with Italy. When they defend, the attackers track back, the midfielders provide a screen in front of the defense, and the defenders themselves, especially Chiellini and Bonucci, those two old stagers, they know what to do in situations like this. But in the rare occasion where their midfield and defense can get breached, they have Gianluigi Donnarumma at the back, one of the best goalkeepers in the world, only 22, and has been playing for Italy since he was 17 years old. Honestly, one of the best goalkeepers in the world, and it shocked me that he just got a free transfer. Like nobody picked him up in January. Like it took until nearly the summer for PSG to pick him up. Honestly, such an underrated and excellent goalkeeper. So that Italy's defense, I'd say, is pretty rock solid and would probably be one of the key elements if they were to win the final. But in my opinion, the most important strength of Italy's is their midfield. Marco Verratti, Jorginho, and Barella have probably been the best midfield at this tournament. And right now we're talking about probably one of the best midfields in world football across club and country. You have Barella and Verratti, who are great at pressing, tackling, winning the ball back, and then especially Barella has a really good attacking impact, attacking threat. And then you have Jorginho, who is every bit the passer and ball player that the other two are, but then he also screens the defense, sometimes with help from Verratti, to protect the Italian defense whenever they might be exposed. The three of them also recycle attacks, put the ball back in to the forwards, whether it's Berardi or Chiesa, Insigne, Immobile, whoever it is. And the midfield is key for Italy. In all the games where they've looked amazing, the midfield just absolutely overruns the other team's midfield. The only game where they looked shaky, which was the semi-final against Spain, I won't lie, Spain actually got the better of the midfield battle there. So it's key for Italy, to show their full potential in the middle of the park, because that's where I feel they can definitely win the game. Then we go into the attack. We have Insigne, who is essentially an inverted winger. You think of him as a winger, but he spends a lot of his time in the middle of the pitch, in those pockets, the half spaces, trying to link up play, get open shots and all of this stuff. And one of the things that have helped him with that in this tournament was the added width and danger of Leonardo Spinazzola, who is unfortunately injured in the quarterfinal. Now Emerson could provide some of that, but Spinazzola was arguably he was top 2-3 players of this tournament. So that's a huge blow for Italy. He's what really allowed Insigne to have the freedom to come inside where he's really most dangerous and hurt opposition defenses. Then you also have Immobile, a poacher, classic striker, not too great at anything else, just scoring goals. Obviously a danger on the pitch. And then I feel Italy's X factor will be Federico Chiesa. He's that guy that unpredictable. He can do anything. He ends up on all parts of the front line. He can score. He can take on fullbacks. He's that X factor. He's the guy that if it's not going well for Italy, he's that one guy that could just bring them back into the game. All right, so now we're going to talk about England. England have also had a pretty decent defense. It's weird because England have conceded less goals, but you think Italy's defense is more convincing, you know? But England's defense has honestly been the rock and foundation of their run to the final in this tournament. And while Italy's key point is their midfield, I would say England's key point is their defense, because basically how it works is that Maguire and Stones are usually very well positioned. You know, they bring the ball out very well, which gets rid of all the dangers for the defense. But in the situations where they are breached, you know, an attacker does get past them, then Kyle Walker is basically a half sweeper, you know, with his speed. You know, it's funny that in 2021, people are still trying to outpace Kyle Walker. It don't work like that. It does not work like that. He just catches up and makes important tackles. Kyle Walker, though his position may have been under scrutiny at the beginning of the tournament, has really become one of the most important cogs in this England machine. Then also Pickford, a great shot stopper at the back, but can be erratic. And it's why England's defense has been so important, because you don't want Jordan Pickford to start having to face loads of shots during the game, putting him under pressure, because he can make mistakes, even though he has been very good at this tournament. Then the midfield for England, you have Calvin Phillips and Declan Rice, who are basically both holding midfielders. Calvin Phillips is a bit more comfortable on the ball, but Declan Rice is very, you know, tidies things up. He doesn't have the same passing abilities as Jorginho, but he does win the ball back and gets the ball really quickly to Calvin Phillips, who is then more adept at getting the ball to, you know, the forward players, Mount, Saka, Kane, Sterling, whoever it is. And then coming on to Mason Mount, he's the guy that links from those two midfield players, Rice and Phillips. He links to the attacking players, whoever it is on the pitch on the time. I mean, it's definitely going to be Kane and Sterling, but it could be Sancho, Saka, Grealish, whoever it is. But Mount is the guy that links the midfield and gets the ball quickly to the attacking players. Finally, for England, the attack. Saka, you know, on the right, he provides a left-footed threat. He's very direct and, you know, he's very dangerous for opposition fullbacks. The battle between Bukayo Saka and Emerson for Italy could be very key in how this game pans out for England. Then obviously Harry Kane, you know, he's developed his game over the past year. He comes back into the play and plays, you know, plays lovely passes, link-up play. For example, the pass he played to Saka in the lead-up to the equaliser against Denmark in the semi-final. And then you also have Raheem Sterling, who is essentially playing a similar role to Insigne. He's old, but he is not as confined to the left. You can find him anywhere across the front line, but you mostly find him in the inside left of the attacking third, you know. And then Luke Shaw, who, similar to Spinazzola, provides the width for England. And then finally, you have Jadon Sancho. Jadon Sancho is the guy that if Saka doesn't keep his place, then I'd expect Jadon Sancho to start the final. He offers something different to Saka. Sancho's one-on-one play is absolutely devastating, and I think he could cause problems for Emerson if he starts. But then also he has very good link-up play, one-touch play in the middle of the park, and that could help England in a tight defense against a tight defense like Italy's. Sancho's link-up play could be useful as well. So it could be this game. It could be decided by the midfield. It could also be decided by the defenses, and it could also be decided by the attack. But in general, these two teams are both of the highest quality, and I couldn't call a winner. We're just gonna have to see what happens in the final tomorrow. Alright, I hope you guys have enjoyed this video. Thank you for watching, and see you next time.